This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Are you looking for that last card to complete your deck, or you want to start your adventure and you don't have any TCGO codes? This is the website to start. You can go to PotownStore.com and use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% off your next order. And they have a huge variety of codes up on their website, ranging from the latest booster packs like Battle Styles. They have Dragapult codes, Eternus codes, Zacian codes, you name it. Be sure to check it out on PotownStore.com. Also, this video is sponsored by CardMarket.com, the best place for European players to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every day to get rid of my bulk, and you can buy some sweet deals from people all across Europe. I love the website. Be sure to check out the affiliate link in the description. You're going to be helping me out. And without further ado, let's just get this video started. I'm hyped. Hopefully you guys are hyped as well. Peace! Sup YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG deck profile video on my channel. We are still continuing our adventure of the Chilling Regin decks. If you are a fan of the channel or Chilling Regin in general, be sure to destroy the hell out of the like button. It helps out the channel in many ways. And right now, we're going to be taking a glance at the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Also a very strong archetype coming out of Chilling Regin. Chilling Regin gets released on June 18, and these deck lists will already help you out to build a deck that you want to be making. So stuff like Shadow Rider Calyrex, we already talked about that. There's going to be way more decks up on the channel, so be sure you are subscribed so you don't ever miss out. Today, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. I know what you're going to say. It is weak to metal. Should we even play this? I know Zacian one-hit KOs it, but on the other hand, if you're not up against Zacian, you're going to have an awesome time. It's going to be some sort of a rock, paper, scissors format where metal destroys water, water destroys fire, fire destroys metal. So little triangle right here. But another weakness triangle in the form of fighting types hitting weakness against darkness types hitting weakness against psychic types, and psychic type hitting weakness against fighting types. So yeah, weakness is going to be very impactful in today's metagame, and I do expect Victini still doing good, so that's where you can punish them by hitting them for weakness. The cool thing is about Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX is it has a similar vibe to it, where you're able to like win games on the spot to gust up an evolving V Pokemon, because Max Lance actually snaps 10 damage. That's the second attack, by the way, and you can discard up to 2 energies from this Pokemon. For every energy discarded in this way, 120 more damage. So if you discard 1 energy, 130 damage. If you discard 2 energies, 250. So with an early game boss or a great catcher, you can actually get the opponent to just give up some prize cards early on, which is very, very nice to see in an archetype like this. But not only that, we're going to be talking about his first attack very soon, but I still need to talk about Melony, the heart and soul of the energy acceleration. I know people could be still playing stuff like Frostma, they could be playing the new Frostlass from Chilling Regin, but I think Melony is the best way. Just attaching a water energy from your discard pile to one of your V Pokemon. It can even be the active, which is awesome, and then draw 3 cards. So it's very similar to Wilder in that sense that you draw 3 cards and you have energy acceleration. It's not going to be 2 energies, but this doesn't need 2 energies because you have the attach of the turn. So in that regard, it's going to be very awesome. I think this card was actually made for Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, because now it's going to be able to attack in one swoop, and that's going to be awesome. So 250 as its max damage output. You might think, oh, that's a little bit on the lower end, but you are going to be able to one-hit KO evolving V Pokemon instantly, and then 2-shotting VMAXs. It's going to be a 2-shot format anyhow, let us be honest. And we have, of course, the first attack where you're not, you don't have to discard energies with the first attack. Ride of the High King. 10 damage plus 30 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if they have 5 bench Pokemon, you're going to be slapping for a whopping 160, which is already nice. 160 times 2, that's 320, which is already getting the Calyraxes, which is not too bad. And if the opponent is going overboard, let's say they're playing the Eternal Zone ability of Eternus VMAX, if they're even able to do that, because we're going to be playing Path to the Peak, by the way. More on that later, but you're going to be able to slap more damage for every bench Pokemon they have. So this is the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. You also have a specific V Pokemon. Not too much to say about this one. Also having a 2 retreat cost. That's why we're playing 2 copies of Air Balloon, by the way. Sometimes you don't want it in the active position. Sometimes you want to swap into something else. And this actually is able to slap 200. And if you discard the 2 energies with its second attack, if you discard 2 energies, you slap 200. So you have to discard 2 energies in order to use the attack. But 200, not too bad either. So people were thinking, do we pair this with the new Inteleon that came out and actually is going to come out in Chilling Regin, which snipes 20 damage every single turn? You can use that. That's a nice deck idea, but that's going to be a different build. This is going to be a classic build, very consistent because it runs a Chinchino line. I don't know if you've noticed, but Chinchino has, of course, Make Do. Discard 1 card from hand in order to draw 2 cards. So this is going to be very similar to Shadow Rider Calyrex when you can draw a lot of cards. This time around, we rely on a level ball and quick ball engine, so we can get these Chinchinos out as quickly as possible. Why is this good? Well, Melony only draws 3 cards. It's going to be very, very low the amount of cards that you can draw with Melony. And of course, you can dig for those reset stamps or Path to the Peak. What is Path to the Peak? Well, glad you asked. This is going to be Power Plant on steroids. It shuts down any Pokemon with a rule box its ability. So that means GXs, like the Dene, no longer have abilities. Stuff like Crobat, its V Pokemon no longer have abilities. Intrepid Sword of Zation, forget about it. Shadow Rider Calyrex with the Underworld Door, forget about it. So all the abilities have been shut down from rule boxes, and even stuff like Prism Stars, like Tapu Koko Prism Star. That's why there's 3 copies of that in here. Our abilities will still work in the form of Chinchino. There's only 1 copy of the Danny in here, and that's for the opening turns only, or if your stadium card gets bounced and you get reset stamped or something. But that's just the one case where you just have a dead hand. Imagine yourself, Great Catcher, Bossasaurus, Air Balloon, Energy, Quick Ball, and a Pokemon and stuff. You say like, oh, and I cannot do anything with this. You can Quick Ball the Dana and just get yourself going. So that's why there's 1 copy of the Dana in here. Even though we are playing Path to the Peak, it's just for the opening phase. Sometimes TCG gives you garbage hands, and it is what it is. So yeah, Path to the Peak, very, very strong stadium card as a 3-off. You're definitely going to be able to get this probably on your 2nd turn or 1st turn. Chinchino draws it out, and reset stamp with Path to the Peak is so bonkers. You might think about adding in Marnie in this list, but thanks to playing the game a lot, I think that Marnie is not going to be working out too much because you want to be using Melony most of the time if you're not using Research in the early turns to set yourself up. So that's my defense here. Only 2 copies of Reset Stamp. You might even bump it up to 3 because Reset Stamp Path to the Peak has been so good in testing. You have no idea. And what else is in this list? Glad you asked. We have some alternate 1 price attackers. You might even think about adding an Ordinary Rod to get them back. But for now, we have 1 copy of this Hoopa, which can attack for simple water energy. It needs a Kara's energy to attack, and then you can go for 10 damage plus 20 more for each of your opponent's Pokemon that has an ability. Why is this in here? That's for the Shadow Rider Calyrex matchup. They are weak to darkness. They're playing a bazillion amount of abilities. They play Mewtwo with the Perfection ability. They play the Underworld Door ability of the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. So at one point, and they even play Crobats or the Dennis or whatever. That means Evil Emanation will be able to get a huge lead on there, just slapping them for a huge damage output for just 1 single energy. Very, very awesome. Sometimes you can even surprise the opponent with the Hoopa. What else is in here is the one-off Cryogonal. Frozen Lock is super good. Definitely in the combination with Path to the Peak and a Reset Stamp. You can buy yourself turns to set yourself up for finding your boss for a game or whatever. Cryogonal is so good. You can boss trap them, so you can boss's order on something with a huge retreat cost. Frozen Lock, so they cannot switch, play Air Balloon, or play stuff like Escape Rope. They're going to be stuck for some turns. You build yourself up and then gust up again, because this list is also running a Palpad, by the way. So Palpad can get back 2 boss's orders. You already play 1 Great Catcher, so you have enough gusting options to say the least. And this is a very consistent list with 4 Quick Ball, 4 Level Ball, 2 Evolution Instants, so you can get your Ice Rider Calyrex strategy up in no time, slapping 250 on whatever you want with boss's orders, or maybe you can just 2-shot some opponents. It's going to be awesome. Another thing you can think about is something like Melony if you want to be healing off some stuff, because this is a 2-shot format. Sometimes that can be enough, and you are going to be able to switch around again thanks to the high amount of Air Balloons. Another thing you can think about is adding in 1 copy of the U-turn board, but I do love the flexibility of 2 Air Balloons, so you can retreat your retreat Pokemon, for instance, your Ice Rider Calyrex as well as your Hoopa. Something I do love to do here. And also there is 1 copy of Marshadow in here, just because the high amount of Chaotic Swell in most decks. As seen in yesterday's video, the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX deck has 2 copies of the Chaotic Swell. There's still Pikarom around, there's still other decks that run Chaotic Swell. You want to get rid of that Chaotic Swell with Marshadow, and then you want to slap down the Path to the Peak and then Reset Stamp and just see the opponent crying because he's not able to play any cards whatsoever because his hand is garbage. And when the hand is garbage, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX just punishes so badly. It's going to be ridiculous. You can just go for a huge damage output right of the King Horse, just slapping some damage, or just go for Max Lance to just finish off stuff. So I do love that this is going to be a very great archetype. It already has proven itself in Japan. Pat to the Peak, a bunker card, Melony, a very crazy card to just accelerate energies in one go, and with a Melony, with Pat to the Peak, with a great attacker in the form of Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, and hidden weakness against stuff like Victini VMAX, this is going to be a crazy good archetype. Yeah, let me know in the comment section how you feel about Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Will you pair it with Inteleon instead of the Chinchino line I showcased here? Be sure to let me know. Are there any other tech cards you would include in an Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX? I want to hear your opinions in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to destroy the hell out of the like button, as it helps out the channel in so many ways. It's the best way and easiest way to just support the channel. It's free. Also, yeah, be sure to subscribe because there are going to be more Chilling Regin content coming. We have booster boxes underway. We have more gameplay that we want to showcase when the set finally gets released on PTCGO. So it's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, Chilling Regin is gonna be very impactful. Lots of crazy tier 1 archetypes coming from that set, and I'm very eager to showcase them with you guys. Anyhow, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow with more Pokemon TCG epicness. Have a great weekend, fellas. Peace.